Hi, I am Akhilesh, and our team number is 22. We have designed a programming language called Trace, and I'm going to explain the grammar part for our programming language. So we can see that our programming language starts with the keyword execute. It is followed by a block, and the block is surrounded by flower brackets. You see, we have two parts inside a block. One is a declaration list and a statement list. We are supporting that our program can be empty as well. So the declaration list or the statement list can be empty. So we have three types of declaration: number, boolean, and string. And we have assigning as well as an empty declaration. In statements, we are supporting three types. One is a normal statement, loop statement, and conditional statement, or it can be empty. In a statement, we have print and assigning operations where we're going to assign number, boolean, or string to a variable name. We are supporting two types of print statement. One is a normal print statement and the other is a print ln statement. And you can use this to print a string, a boolean, or a number. And in loop statements, you can see our grammar is supporting three types of loop. One is a simple loop, and the other one is a range loop and a while loop. In conditional statements, we have an if statement, if else statement, and an if else, and followed by any number of if else statement. We are also supporting ternary operator, which has a syntax of Boolean expression, question mark statement 1 to statement 2. This part of the grammar is used to evaluate a number expression. We have implemented precedence here where braces has given highest precedence, and multiplication, division, modulus is the next, followed by addition and subtraction. We are also supporting the length function, which is used to convert a string and find its length. And we have all the grammar for Boolean expressions here. As you see, we are supporting all kinds of relational operators. It has its value true or false at the end, and we are also supporting parentheses for Boolean, and we have implemented precedence. We are having different types of string expressions. We are supporting string conversion of number and Boolean to string, and we are also supporting string concatenation using a plus operator. Then we have the primitive data type here, which is variable number and string. Next, Rahul is going to explain the DCG for our programming language. Rahul?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rahul. I'm going to explain the DCG for the programming language. As we can see, the program's first predicate is the eval program. It takes in the pass tree and also an empty environment with an uh, variable of zero. Okay, this zero means indicates the scope, the initial starting scope, which is initializes zero. After that, we can see that the eval block has two parts: the eval declaration list and the statement list. The declaration list mainly comprises of numeric number declaration, boolean declaration, and string declaration. The main operation which we are doing while declaration is we are just looking up for a particular variable in the environment using the predicate called lookup. And if the environment is not already been declared, only then we are allowing the user to declare the particular variable. So this is the predicate for that, and we are use the update predicates to update the variable's value in the environment. This is a similar operation which is done for the boolean as well as for the string declarations. Now we can see the statement list evaluation. We can see that there are different types of statements: a loop statement, conditional statement, and a general statement. We can also note that there is no semicolon after the loop statement and the conditional statement, since it can act or be present independently without being nested within other statement list. There are also other statement types like the increment, decrement, and assignment operators, along with the print statement. We can see the evaluation of the decrement and the increment operators here. We're just looking up for the value of a particular variable and we're just increasing it in the particular scope. We use the find scope predicate to find the scope of a particular variable which we are going to update. Now we can see the evaluation of the print statements. There are two major types of print statement: the print and the print ln statements. The print ln statement is used to print a particular value in a new line. The print statement has three different types of expression handle within it. That means that you can give a string expression, number expression, or a boolean expression within an print statement to print it. So this can be used to print various results of our evaluation statements. Now we can see the evaluation statements of our loops. This is the tree for the simple for. As we know that a simple for consists of a declaration within the for block and the statements which should be executed after the condition. Here we can see that the scope is incremented by one. This is the for block, so that we can see that for and it can be deleted after control exists the for block. This is the same for the for range for also. Range for is a small two different
Okay, Rahul, stop. You are breaking a lot.
Now we'll see the evaluation statement of the simple for. In the simple for, initially we are just incrementing the scope by one. This means that we are creating a local scope in which we can declare and do the evaluation part. Once the evaluation is completed, we are also deleting that particular scope. Now this is the range for. Range for is a small variation of the simple for. In the range for, we have two parameters which is different. That is the number expressions which can be given inside the variable range parenthesis. And after that, we can see that we have written a condition for the while. The while has a simple Boolean expression and a block, and the block is executed till the Boolean expression evaluates to true, and it's called recursively until the condition is checked. And now we come to the conditional expressions. The conditional expression mainly involves the if and if then else then parts, and also the ternary operators. In the ternary operator, we can see that a small simple Boolean expression is checked, and if it's true, the Y block is executed, and if it's false, the Z block is executed. We are also having predicates to check the length of a string using the len predicate. After that, we are going to see the evaluation of the number expression. The number expressions have already been started according to the precedence. And here we are handling the addition, subtraction, multiplication, the division, modulus, and the most important uh, operation of the parenthesis. And after that, we come to the evaluation of Boolean expression. The Boolean expression mainly involves a lot of relational expressions like equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, not equal to. Also, we are also using the Boolean expression to set the variables to true or false. We are also include a precedence inside the Boolean expression to handle parentheses. So these are the evaluation statements of the Booleans. And now we come to the string expressions. String expressions are mainly used to handle the print statements. Here we have different types of print statements, like converting into Boolean and number and Boolean into string is one of the main operations which is handled in the string. Through these operations, we can convert any type of value that is number or Boolean into string, which can be very useful while printing the results after an evaluation. After this, there are several helper predicates like validate variable name, which is used to validate whether a particular variable name is not a keyword, and the delete scope is used to clear the scope after each block, and the lookup for previous scope is to retrieve the value of a particular variable from the global scope, and lookup just to return a variable from the local scope, and update is to reset the value, and find scope is to get the exact scope of a particular variable. And these last three predicates, the write exception and the write ln output, is used to distinguish between an exception and output when it is returned to the Python environment so that we can handle it appropriately. Thank you.
Hello. So I will be explaining the lexical component of our compiler. I have used the framework Ply, which is a framework to build any kinds of token matching and string matching using regex. So Ply has a bare bones framework which will support the lexical analyzing, and I have defined the types of tokens which we have supported in this language. The tokens will be ranging from number, decimal, plus operator, minus operator, the star symbol, the mod operator, increment operator, many such more tokens which we use in every normal programming language. So we also have support for reserve keywords, wherein a variables will be differentiated from a reserve keyword, so that it helps us to design the programming language the way we intend it to be. So since we have reserve keywords, we also support data types, and every token which will be collected will have a type associated with it. And we have the rules which will define when the regex pattern will be catching which token at what particular moment of processing the file, input source file. So basically, we have the regex pattern which are larger in size, placed higher above in the precedence table, and the tokens which are very short or can be matched with mostly from 1 to 2 characters will be placed lower than that. Just to give you an example, I can say that if we want to track less than equal to and less than operator as two separate things. So if I place the capture regex for less than operator before, then the less than equal to will never be tokenized as a single term. It will be split again into two different tokens. So this is one of the example which I had to handle in the precedence of tokenization. Next, I will explain the execute py. So this is the main core which has the main function, and is the core of our compiler. So we will be importing the token rules over here, and we will be handling the execution part of Prolog, or querying the Prolog inside the Python environment. So we'll be using subprocess, which will basically open a new shell command inside the control environment of Python, which will be handling the outputs of the command or the query which will be forming as a string over here. And as soon as we get the output stored over here, we will be processing it from Prolog, getting the feedback or getting the result which we get from Prolog as a byte stream to kind of just process the byte stream. We have an extract function which will be handling the different types of outputs which we'll be having, like error output or standard output. So so we kind of come to have a good user feedback to analyze what kind of output is being generated by the compiler, or what kind of program is being evaluated, what the result we are getting after the compilation phase is done. Thank you.
Hi, this is Vanlata, and I'm going to be explaining about the runtime environment for our programming language Trace. So we're supporting both Linux and Mac OS for now. And since this is a Mac environment, to install all the dependencies, you'll have to run this code, which is present in mac install.sh. And yeah, so now it's installing in this computer. We'll wait for it to install. Okay, so since the requirements have already been satisfied, you're getting those messages here. Now, how the programming language works is, so basically, the user will have to write the code for our programming language in a text file, and save it with a .txt extension, and it will be tokenized by the execute.py file, and which these tokens will be formatted in the form of a Prolog query, which will be passed to the Prolog file, which will evaluate the program and return the result back to the execute.py file, which then prints to the terminal. So we'll be running a few programs now. In order to run a program, you'll have to use Python execute.py and the name of the file that you want to run. So this program is just to show the Boolean expressions which are supported by our programming language. So next program would this is to we have also supported print ln, which will print the contents in a new line. Okay, so now we're seeing the result for that particular program. And so next program is to show the numeric expressions which are supported by our programming language. So you can see that it has addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and is also printing the output in a separate line. Yeah, so we've now received the result. Okay, so now we'll see the different print statements which are being supported by our programming language. So as you can see, you can just print the statement in the same line as the previous line. You can print it in a new line, and you can also print numbers or booleans or strings inside the print statements. The strings are usually enclosed within double quotes, but if you want to print a string as well as a number within the same print statement, then you would have to put that variable inside an str function and then uh, print it, and we'll see how this runs.
Is our programming language Trace? Thank you so much.